Welcome to the Explainer. If you've ever felt like you're just drowning in alerts or you've struggled to debug a really complex system, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're unpacking a revolution that's fixing that broken reality. We're talking about Observability 2.0. We're going to look ahead to 2026 and see how this entire market is being rebuilt from the ground up.
For years, trying to monitor software has felt like solving a puzzle when you know half the pieces are missing, right? It's been this reactive mess of data all over the place. Well, that chaotic past is finally giving way to a proactive, unified future, one that's actually designed for the kind of complex systems that we all build today.
So before we can really appreciate the solution, we've got to understand the problem. And it's a problem that pretty much everyone in engineering has been feeling for a while. The crisis of what we're now calling Observability 1.0.
Yeah, the old model, the one that was built on the three pillars, logs, metrics, and traces, it just completely collapsed under its own weight. It created these massive data silos that just could not handle the complexity of modern cloud-native systems. And the result? Just crippling alert fatigue. But the fundamental flaw, the real killer, was that it was always reactive. It was only telling you about a problem after it had already blown up.
So, what's the solution? Well, it's not just some patch or a quick fix. It's a complete architectural and philosophical reset. So let's get into it. Observability 2.0, which is all about making that shift from reactive chaos to proactive clarity.
At the very heart of this new paradigm is this idea of wide events. So think of it this way. Instead of getting three separate, totally incomplete reports about some incident, you get a single, unified story that has all the context baked right in. This just completely eliminates all that manual work of trying to stitch data together, and it lets us move from just fixing crashes to actually predictively managing the health of our systems. Now, this whole revolution isn't magic. It's really being powered by two foundational open-source technologies that are, and I mean this, completely changing the game.
Okay, first up is eBPF. The easiest way to think about eBPF is like a secure stethoscope for the very heart of your system, the Linux kernel itself. It lets us capture this incredibly deep telemetry data right from the source, but, and this is crucial, without having to modify any application code or slowing things down. It's a total game changer for performance and visibility.
This technology gives you, and I'm quoting here, unparalleled insights into noisy production environments, which makes it the ultimate catalyst for zero-code observability. You get this incredibly rich, real-time data without ever touching your application. This is really the secret sauce behind how companies like Netflix and Cloudflare understand their super complex systems so well.
So if eBPF is the source of all this amazing data, then OpenTelemetry, or OTel, is the universal adapter for it. It's a CNCF standard, and it provides a single, vendor-neutral way to collect and export all that system information. And what does that mean for you? It means vendor lock-in is over, for good.
The biggest market impact to OpenTelemetry is, honestly, it's pretty simple. The systematic erosion of vendor lock-in. For any engineering team out there, this is a moment of liberation. It means that vendors now have to compete on the quality of their analytics and their insights, not on their ability to trap your data in some proprietary format. All right, so with these open source tools basically commoditizing the data layer, a whole new competitive battlefield has just emerged. So let's look at how the giants and the startups are completely reshaping the industry.
We are seeing absolutely massive, multi-billion-dollar consolidation. You've got giants like Palo Alto Networks snapping up observability specialists like Chronosphere, and data titans like Snowflake buying players like Observe Inc. They're all in this race to merge security, business intelligence, and observability into one single, unified data plane. And the price tags on these deals are just staggering. Snowflake's acquisition of Observe Inc., reportedly around $1 billion. Now, that kind of investment, that signals that observability is no longer some niche IT function. No, it's now a core data layer for the entire enterprise.
So, at the same exact time, you've got this new vanguard of startups that are attacking the market by just blowing up the old, expensive pricing models. They're going after what's called the data tax, that insane cost of just ingesting massive volumes of data. And they're doing it with really smart strategies like per-node pricing, storage arbitrage, and workflow bundling.
And this new wave of startups is incredibly diverse. You've got Dasho, which is all in on AI-driven autonomous action. Then there's Groundcover, pioneering per-node pricing for data sovereignty. You have ClickStack,
unifying observability and business analytics with SQL. And then there's BetterStack, which consolidates that entire incident workflow. Each one of them is attacking the market with a totally unique philosophy.
Some of these startups are just competing purely on hyper-efficiency. Innovators like OpenObserve, for instance, by using object storage directly, are achieving an incredible, get this, a 140x reduction in storage costs. I mean, stop and think about what that means. It completely changes the economics of data retention. It allows companies to analyze years of data instead of just a few weeks, and that unlocks entirely new kinds of insights.
So all of this innovation, the new tech, the new business models, it's all building toward the next epoch of operations, a future that is truly autonomous. The future is not about engineers just staring at dashboards all day. It's about what we're calling agentic operations. This is the shift from passive monitoring to active operational partners. We're talking about AI agents that don't just find problems. They analyze root causes, they suggest fixes, and in some cases, they can even autonomously execute the scripts to fix it.
And look, this isn't science fiction. This is already here. Platforms like Dash0 are using AI agents for autonomous triage right now. BetterStack offers an AI SRE that lives right inside your Slack for root cause analysis. And at companies like Coinbase, Resolve AI is cutting incident investigation time by over 70%. This is happening today.
And all this leaves us with a pretty provocative final thought. As these systems become more autonomous, more capable, is your next site reliability engineer a human or an AI agent? One thing's for sure, the very definition of an operations team is about to change forever.